Chicago Bears. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw on the first play, McCarthy. Throw knocked away is incomplete. Shutting down that play, Kyler Gordon on the defensive side. Look at this Bears defense. Yeah, they've been dreadful against the run. They're getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. Just down in and down out. Being able to play it. Understand what you have to get done. Apparently stops the vision for
He'll get 15 and the Vikings first down.
He's been relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles, and his feet never stop moving.
Play action, McCarthy. Pass complete to Allison. And he spins past him and into space. He's at the end of the bounds, but not before he takes it inside. Back-to-back nice gains. That one was 14 yards and another first. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards to loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing is McCarthy. Short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. ETN up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right to the teeth of yards as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now McCarthy. And that nearly an interception here on his opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Used to have coaches tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Here's McCarthy. Trying to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times a game, but that the defense starting to anticipate the call. And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they have 3 first downs and 3 points. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And he's across the 40, 40 yards to the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. really both offers on the goal pass impact, and that the runner can use that also.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bears are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead.
Basically certified passes.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Lane opens here. He's past the 30.
So please kind of explain the relationship. I think I think of the serenity for this. And so you accept the things that cannot change, the parts that change things that cannot always need to know the difference. That's how she survived, was the longest standing.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays.
And that's inside the 35. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping their second go-around ends in 6. Position, 1st and 10. And able to get it down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, there's still a little bit of disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A tackle for loss there, 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack.
And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
If she were to stick around, but in that makes sense, I think it continues to miss.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, it's going to be his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, the offense, Charles, they were flirting with disaster, already backed up deep in their own territory. So the interception and the pick 6 ensued. That was a big play.
It certainly was. In the short field, gave him the rare opportunity to take it all the way back and quickly. And once he saw that he had open field, there's no way he's going to let that opportunity slip away, and finds his way into the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that was not returnable.
Crazy.
Over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
This is crazy, bro.
Throwing after the interception, Williams. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Bears getting the road victory, so they'll look now to take the season series here at Soldier Field. Working out of the gun, Williams. Now he's going to step up and run. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble and gets him a first down.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. No gain on the play, it'll be 2nd down. The Bears had 5 and 9 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Third and 2. Looking to throw is Williams. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
Freestyle leap rate 3 center numbers straight to
the offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
FreestyleLibre.us. ESPN Bet is now the sport bet. Same betting with professional
it would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll go. Here's Williams. This is caught. He hits more. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. 16-yard line. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. This is caught. And he his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Santos with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10.
Okay. James
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's just the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On play action, now McCarthy. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And a loose football. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Here's Williams. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Calling a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
DJ Miller, 1-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 9 at the Vikings 43-yard line.
Give it to me.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season as his guys are able to extend their lead. And that run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on.
There you go.
His early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Jackson. I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looks problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
To the air, Williams. Now, man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 7-7. Another good game. That's 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that they don't start to slow him down. It's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
They'll run with the Rutgers man, Kyle Monangai. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
What is that?
Here's a give up the middle. Yes. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate.
They'll look to throw forward with Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Jefferson going to go in motion right. To the air with McCarthy. And he'll go down, and the Bears get there for the sack. Tyler Dangbo in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here now a 3rd and 20. Looking to throw McCarthy. He'll try and do this himself. And pressure gets to him again. That was a quarter blitz, and it was Tyler getting in there for the sack. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Bye-bye.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Bears take over.
23, please.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're made 2 plays and they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw, it's Williams. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They get a weapon back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Catch number 44 of on the year. It's a 1st down.
That's good. For a Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. They'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here is 3rd down and 4. To throw, Williams. Oh, he's going to go for it all. It will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
At their own 11-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to offense.
I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in. They just got to throw this one away.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing games, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. And he'll have the the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. 1 second, all that remains.
Ooh, that was, damn, that could have been a touchdown. That was going
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Don't you think we should really trust him before us or get to the end shit?
Set to resume. Here we go in the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think the coaches in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield. They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
They'll go play action here with Williams. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DJ Moore, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Santos with the extra point. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll start on the ground. ETN. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has that the game he expected? But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice. Because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
I know the Ravens always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Going for Jefferson downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun on 3rd down, McCarthy. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Back to throw. McCarthy. On a heavy rush, and down he goes. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And that'll be caught. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Kyler Gordon picks it up. And the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
He'll get this into the hands of Odunze. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He can't get him down. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 134 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Now he's into the clear again. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. On a great effort there. 41 yards. And the Bears take the first turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Ordinarily, third down is a passing down, but how about that explosive run right there? And when you get a run like that, that means everything came together. Offensive lineman, they didn't just get to the first down.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A big sack. Montez Sweat in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And he takes a shot with the release as this will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Out of the gun now on third down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line.
Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. And he's going to use his legs here. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. He'll get 7 yards there on the keeper, but still 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Looking left side. That's caught by Moore. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there and they tackled him for a loss.
He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Brandon, you got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This defense not budging, back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Now he's going to step up and run. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's able to get this route to his 30 before it's out of bounds. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. That'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's McCarthy. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but the Bears repeating it. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison, 29 yards. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
17.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort, at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Running is Mononga. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. They'll run here with Mononga. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Play action. Now Williams. Ball tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pulling things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said,
touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 66 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll try and run some. This offense so far on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Throwing is Williams. He'll try and do this himself. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now McCarthy. As he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Open man, that's Felton. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
McCarthy operating from the gun. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. On play action, now McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. Looking to throw McCarthy. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. There's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. To the air again, McCarthy. Looking for Addison again. He's got him again. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
McCarthy gets up to throw it. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones from 13 yards out. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
The Vikings will line up.
McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, a couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the 4th quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that. They should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for Chicago, the win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.